Hi everyone, I'm Lenny from the United States of America, and I'm here to go to WORKCAMP Parquet in Hungary, which is about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Budapest. This is the Bishop's Castle, and in the Bishop's Castle there was a historic floor in 1850 that was destroyed during World War II, and it was in this room behind me here. The floor, when it was destroyed, was covered over by some just random plank material, which was actually salvaged. I'll show you that in a minute. And we're recreating the parquet pattern that's in other rooms that was not so damaged. But anyway, here we go. So what we have here is the stock of material that we're working with. This oak material was sourced from a local forest, so it's local to the area. It's not brought in from outside the country. And then here we have our daily program schedule for the week. So we have different things going on at WORKCAMP Parquet, different processes and also different educational things. This is the WORKCAMP Parquet sponsors. We're appreciative of their sponsors to take care of WORKCAMP Parquet. Some of you guys in the States might recognize some of these companies like Festool, Stauff, Bona. So they're, of course, international companies. And then you have our project history and future projects coming up. For instance, we have we have Hungary now, we have Spain next year. And then these are all the countries that are represented at this particular WORKCAMP Parquet. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 14 countries represented here. So let's go see what the boys are doing. Oh, and girls. We have a girl here too. So in this area here, you're seeing restoration work that happened in another room the last 2 days. This is day 3 of WORKCAMP Parquet. And on day 3, we're moved into restoring this part of the floor here now. As you can see, we got this panel here. He's digging out some material. He's going to repair a piece of loose material. These guys are scraping. Come on with me. These guys are scraping off old finish from the floor before we're going to do the oil. And now you're going to see how we build the parquet panels. Now, historically, WORKCAMP Parquet wants to pass on hand craftsmanship from generation to generation. So here what you have had though is just a time scale. We had to use more modern tools to do some production work, but we have the ability to, and we have made some handmade panels here. So if you come around here, cameraman, and we'll talk about what's going on here. So each panel has a backing material, and the backer material is helping the original parquet that's really thick equal to this one here. So what we have here is a backing panel. It was actually made from the salvaged plank floor from the other room that was covering the original parquet that was damaged. So we salvaged this material, framed it, then we had to hand plane the material flat in order to receive the parquet you see here. The parquet is being fitted, and it's a copy of the original parquet on the floor. And we're doing a feature where we're book matching these corner pieces. So these corner pieces are book matched out. So all these workstations are day 3. Yesterday this whole room was filled with workstations for those guys that are not skilled set enough to yet do all the panels by hand, but we have the opportunity to do one panel by hand. The rest we're going to do it in production style because we only have 8 days to do this project. So let's go into the other room and see what's going on over there. Oh, let me show you this. This is interesting. These are tools that are being used to scrape the floor with. Different curves, different shapes, so we can get into here and scrape at this parquet pattern. Now this is going to be repaired, but we can scrape and get past some of the old wax and finish to get back to naked wood. And once it's scraped out, then we're going to oil the floor, and then after the oiling, after this whole thing is cleaned out, we're going to do a paste wax on the floor. But let's go see a room that was already restored. So yesterday this whole room was repaired and scraped by a team of people here, which is those guys over there, by the way, because a team that was here doing the scraping and repairing, the other team was building the parquets that I'm going to show you in a minute. Now these guys are in the process of cutting, building, and gluing the parquet to the panel base. This area here was oiled, And you see in that doorway, they're starting to put the new parquet pattern into the old floor. So that new parquet pattern, they're working the joining of the old floor to the new floor through that doorway, and then we fill out that whole room. Oh, go ahead, Tibor. Tabor is from Hungary. He's one of the Hungarians here. Hello, Tabor.
Hello.
And all right, let's see what's going on over here. So we're doing some restoration on the floor here. We're going to see what my friend Yaroslav is doing. Yaroslav is trying to see what's going on under his floor here. And so what we have here is we see the original subfloor, and this piece is broken. So Yaroslav is going to repair it, see? It's moving up and down. So he's going to put some shims under there to make it stable, right?
Stabilizacja.
Stabilizacja, that's Polish.
Stabilizacja, później wklejanie new. Tu, tak? Trójkącik i tu, tak.
Where's the piece that you're working with? No piece yet?
No, dopiero demontaż. Dopiero demontuję.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's how we communicate in WORKCAMP. He speaks Polish, he's from Poland. I don't speak Polish at all, so you don't speak English? Yeah, no. So if it's not Google Translate on the phone, we talk with our hands, we talk with the wood. So we all speak the same language when it comes to wood. So he's going to repair this floor, and it's going to be part of the restoration of this thing. Thank you, Yara. Let's go in this room over here now. So in this room here, this is the room that all the parquet builds are happening. This station here, this is a panel that was glued up this morning. These will stay as they are now until tomorrow. We used modern day adhesives for that. We didn't use the bone glue. Over here, we have the cutoffs. All this material is not going to be wasted. It's going to be converted into slip tongue, which these guys are using over here to build the panels with. So they're putting in slip tongue and they're joining new panels into old panels here. And you can see that they're shimming underneath because of the height of that room coming into this room. These panels were trimmed off. They're going to be grooved and splined. And the cool thing about this subfloor here, that's the original plank from when this thing was built in 1850 when they built out this room. This was the original subfloor structure. This is built on beams as it goes across the floor, and in between all the beams they use an earth fill. Dirt, small pebbles, rocks, anything to get it filled up so it has a stability to it. We learned about that today, that most of these rooms are built with an arch, so when the weight goes on in the middle of the room, the walls are, the floor presses against the walls and makes the room more stable. And so we're going to be putting the parquet panels on top of this floor with shims to make it flat and even, and then we're going to hand nail, because I have here actually one of the original nails that came from turn of the century. This is a modern nail. That's modern today. This is what it was done years ago. These are handmade nails that were cleaved into the floor, and they've been salvaged. So we're not using these, we're actually saving these, and we're going to put modern nails in to hold the floor in place. You can see that's an original nail here, original nail, that's a new nail here. And then you can see here, Zoltan, who's working on this panel here. This is Zoltan's panel. I don't know where Zoltan went. WORKCAMP is a really busy place. People are running around all over the place, always getting something or finding a tool. But Zoltan is building his panel by hand. So this panel here was completely hand-sawn on this panel here. We use, obviously we mark it, and then he uses the hand saw. You can actually see he's got his cut halfway going here. If you see the cut, he's already got the cut. Come here, cameraman, look at this thing here. So he was cutting this by hand, and that's the piece that's going into that spot. That's the other letter D that's going into that one corner. So this panel has been completely made by hand, and everybody had an opportunity to build them by hand. The thing was, everybody had to make 5 panels before the end of the day. So some people decided to go with just the modern tool production. Zoltan here and I did mine by hand, and so we have some handmade pieces that are going to go in. This is going to be the time capsule one. Since Zoltan is Hungarian, he's the one that organized this thing. His is the last panel going to the floor, and underneath it we're going to put a time capsule, which usually involves everybody putting in different pieces of money and signing names on a piece of wood, putting it under the floor. So the next 150 years from now, somebody's going to take it apart and they're going to find our work on it. So that's WORKCAMP Parquet in a nutshell. Is everybody just working together? Everybody's learning about wood, and just sharing their experiences. So from WORKCAMP Parquet in Győr, Hungary, we'll see you guys later.